Well, hey there and hello, and welcome to the upstairs candy wallpapered hallway of the dollhouse for another reading from The Secret Language of Birthdays by Garrett Goldschneider and you Stelfers. For September 5th, the day of the Fanciful Sovereign. That's right. And here at the top of the page for the day of the Fanciful Sovereign, we have us a visual representational image of the day of the Financiful Sovereign, I suppose. And what could it be? Boom! It is some hair things. I don't know what else to say. It's some hair stuff. You got your barrettes and your ribbons, and I don't know if there's a bow in there, but the ribbon could be turned into a bow. That's right. Hey, that's not necessarily important. That seems like it's really drilling down on the female energy. Who's to say? That's not necessarily important, but maybe they'll tie it in later. Because what's really important here is wishing you a happy birthday. That's right. Hey, is it September 5th and it's your birthday today? Well, if it is, I just want to extend you a heartfelt happy birthday. That's right. That's why we're here. And if this video finds you long or shortly after your birthday has already come and gone, I hope you had a happy birthday. That's right. Hope you had a happy birthday. And for everyone else who's just joining us randomly or out of curiosity, or more importantly and hopefully to celebrate September 5th birthday, I want to say welcome. I hope you enjoy yourself and hope you find it interesting. All right. Same for you there, September 5ers. I hope you find this interesting. Now, before we dive in direct, real quick, let's roll some dice, all right? This is the DykASSt birthday cast, so we need to live up to the namesake, but more importantly, we do it. Why do we more importantly do it? Well, for synchronicity's sake. That's right. We rolled us a 4 and a 1 for a 5. That's right, a 4 and a 1 for 5. What synchronicity, you might be wondering? Well, it's just you getting out into the world and letting the universe show you that it's with you on your path. And you do that for keeping a lookout for these numbers, or maybe some of your own if you decide to roll it that way. But the intention's here for you to get out there and find these numbers, your 4 and your 1 for a 5. And you just keep your eyes out for them signs, and when you see them and when you spy them, you go after them with a bunch of zeal and zest. Just get after them. Even if they elude you, take a stop, look around and wait for some more signs. Sometimes it's not even your numbers. Sometimes maybe it's a poster on the side of a wall that says something like the day of the Fanciful Sovereign, and you're like, oh, there it is, there's my sign. And so you go after that poster, or whatever. Maybe that's just to let you know you're in the right place and to wait for another sign. And maybe you find yourself walking down 4th Street and then you run into the number 41 building on the address there. Ooh, it's a little storefront that you've never seen before. Why don't you go in, all right? That's the kind of sign you get. And when somebody asks if they can help you, you just say, hey, I'm just checking things out. I'm here on Synchronicity Walk. And they say, what's that? You show them this video. You let them know what it's all about, maybe. And who's to say? Maybe they got some ribbons and some hair bows in there. And hey, how about that for a theme, all right? And maybe they find it interesting and they join you on your path. They close that open sign, or that sign from open to closed, and they join you. And you just made a new friend. I like to use that example oftentimes because it sounds a little fanciful, but you know what? It's happened before, all right? Not to me specifically, but to other people that I've heard tell of. So just be open to the universe, join you on your path, and seeing what you see. And it doesn't have to be grandiose events. It can be just small little things. And all it's doing is letting you know the universe is with you on your path. All right, you get the point. Let's dive in with the birthday, right? Okay, hey, your month is September, your day the 5th, your sign is 11 to 13 degrees Virgo of the Virgo II period specifically, and your quality and element is mutable earth. All right, September 5th, the day of the Fanciful Sovereign. Those born on September 5th like to use their active and alert minds to dream up the most imaginative, romantic plans. They are very adept indeed at making such ideal notions, real, but unfortunately can be highly unrealistic about their degree of success. Prone to excessive pride or indulgence, they may lose touch with reality and hence be afflicted with all kinds of maladies when they least expect them. A recurrent theme in the lives of some September 5 people is that of working against themselves in a self-defeating pattern. And those born in this date can really get caught up in their regal egos by burying themselves in what they are doing. Consequently, they may not only lose sight of what others think of them, but also what is actually going on in their heart and subconscious. On the other hand, September 5 people are capable of wonderful fantasies of all sorts. Although their personal lives may appear quite ordinary to some, what they surround themselves with, their creations or acquisitions, are often truly amazing. Thus, they can feel like a king or a queen in a fairy tale palace. And this magical world they create can hold the deepest meaning for them. But unfortunately, their personal human values can get lost in the shuffle. At times, it may seem that no one knows that September 5 people are really what they're really like away from their romantic image. Least of all, September 5 people themselves. Obviously, what is needed, if those born on this day are to proceed further in their psychological and spiritual evolution, is that they distinguish between fancy and reality. They would do well to invest more time in themselves and give sober thought to the state of their lives. Painfully, they may have to strip down and start building a more realistic ego all over again. September 5 people can make entertaining and enjoyable friends. And although they also have a serious side, having fun is important to them. And they tend to do everything with a twinkle in their eye. They are most often of a giving, considerate nature, but can sometimes withdraw their affection without warning. Their motivations can thus be easily misunderstood. And one criticism of September 5 people is that they only associate with certain individuals because of their attractiveness at a given time. Really, only the least highly evolved of those born on this day are so superficial or calculating, as most September 5 people are remarkably innocent and childlike, and therefore gravitate to those who feel care about them and offer true friendship. Well, all right. How about that for a truly interesting birthday breakdown? All right, hey, let's dive into some notes. I like to provide a little bit of a commentary on what we've read. So let's see what we got here. For September 5, the day of the fanciful sovereign. All right. Taken with dreaming up imaginative and romantic plans is how you like to use your active and alert mind, and are very adept at realizing those ideas, but it sounds as though those plans don't quite live up to the dream, right? And if that's in fact true, well, I wouldn't fret, all right? Reality tends to fall short of dreams, if you didn't know, okay? So it's just in trying to get after that dream and realizing it as it ends up being realized that we can take some pride, all right? We got to try anyway, right? But that's just the nature of that dynamic. You also have to aim for the stars if you want to hit the moon, metaphorically speaking. But I'd also argue seeing how different the reality is from the dream is one of the most interesting parts of the process, all right? And the reading also relates a sense of excessive pride and indulgence and running a risk of losing the narrative. That's how I would kind of look at it. So effort to keep one foot firmly rooted, at least, I would argue, okay? Dreams and fantasy are just that. And yes, you can make them real, but are you living for a dream or for yourself, all right? I ask as much of myself as you, ironically, all right? So the world I spend time creating for myself takes the focus for sure, all right? And despite not being a fairy tale. So I do also effort to find a kind of spiritual base in my off time there. So, however, almost as an escape from working on the dream, right? Because that can get frustrating itself, okay? And be more frustrating than reality in a lot of cases. But considering how banal reality can be, it's also no surprise that people are seeking an escape. So you just do so in a highly a highly regal fashion. That's right. So keep that childlike wonder that lends to your unique charm, assuming you have that, all right? But figure out which dreams serve you versus those that disjoint you, okay? And you don't want to be one of those lesser evolved, holistically superficial folks that are born on this day, right? That is, unless you do. All right, hey, that's what I got for your birthday, a breakdown. So let's move on to your numbers and your planets. All right, hey, let's dive into it. Those born on the 5th of the month are ruled by the number 5 and by the planet Mercury. And since Mercury represents quickness of thought and change, September 5 people whose sign Virgo is also ruled by Mercury may find themselves likely to both overreact mentally and to change their mind and physical surroundings with great regularity. September 5 people must rein in their impulsive nature, a quality which enhances their naturalness but can drive others to distraction. On the other hand, the hard knocks that those ruled by the number 5 receive from life traditionally have little lasting effect on them. They recover quickly. All right, hey, what I have to say about your numbers and your planets? What do we got here? The number 5 and the speedy planet Mercury for quickness of thought and change, for an impulsive nature that lends to quick recovery from the hard knocks of life. All right, just mind any mental overreactions, apparently. And you have a dual Mercury rulership, and it sounds as though in a mental way, and maybe lending to those dreams that you have. It's a mental aspect that might cause you as much frustration as it does for the most ideal realizations, or whatever the opposite of frustration is. Okay, just be mindful that your greatest asset might also be your biggest liability. And I feel as though that may be true for everyone, but if it's being emphasized for you, it must be of a particularly true and interesting dynamic. All right, so just be mindful of them dreams and how you react to them. All right, keep one foot in reality. That's right. Okay, let's move on to your tarot, one of the more eclectic of the metaphysical ideologies by my mind, but it's interesting. It's in the book, so let's find out what it has to say and what card you draw. All right, the 5th card of the major arcana is the Hierophant, an interpreter of sacred mysteries who is symbolic of human understanding and faith. His knowledge is esoteric, and he has an authority over things unseen. There you go. There's those dreams. Favorable traits conferred by this card are self-assuredness and insight. Unfavorable traits include moralizing, bombast, and dogmatism. All right, hey, the old Hierophant card, all right? Sacred mysteries. Let's see what I had to say here. Interpretive sacred mysteries and symbolic of human understanding and authority over things unseen. All right, that must be the dreams you seek to make real, and in your case, at least going by the reading of a most regal and royal representation. So you got that touch of class and you want to impart it, all right? And I would say these days that's not seen very often, except maybe in like England or something. So if you're bringing that over here to the stateside or elsewhere, it might have a very unique look and really stand out, assuming that's, applies to you. In any event, at least that's what you're going for, right? And I say keep trying, even if your efforts don't work out how you expect, all right? There's value in that, but approach it earnestly, okay? That's very important. Don't let it consume you, okay? Moderation, if you know it's going to affect you in an adverse way. So temper your potential fallout or fail in a grand fashion and celebrate it if you do, okay? There's always time to laugh about things. I know, oh man, when you fail, it can be the worst, right? Your world's falling down around you. Well, embrace that. Make that something to celebrate because you gave it your best shot, hopefully. In any event, yes, even if you didn't, celebrate the failure, all right? There's fun to be had in just about everything. And hey, at least you gave it a shot. There's other people out there who aren't doing anything, all right? So do it in a regal fashion. That's right. Okay, let's dive in with your health. Ooh, your health. Those born on September 5 must avoid undermining themselves, both physically and psychically. Such self-destructive patterns are difficult for them to recognize or acknowledge, so it can be crucial that family, friends, or psychological counselors offer realistic advice. An ever-present danger is that those born on this day develop the mistaken notion that they can get away with anything. That's that Regal personality, maybe. They will eventually learn that there is a limit to what the body can withstand, though the capacity of some September 5 people to abuse their health for long periods admittedly is amazing. And regular physical examinations at least once a year are recommended. And as far as diet is concerned, a broad and well-balanced choice of foods is suggested. All right, what do I have to say about your health here? You can get away with anything, right? Maybe a lot, but the bill inevitably comes due. That's right. So make sure you got your health insurance. Right. You may get away with murder and with a lot of folks, but there are also those who notice. So be mindful, all right? They aren't having it. I know. When I take note of somebody I think's acting a fool, getting away with murder, you know what? I kind of put them on the back burner. You know what? They deserve their comeuppance. I don't know if it's that malicious, but I take note, all right? So there are other people out there like me. There have to be. I can't be the only one, right? Reason of deduction and the statistics and such. There are a lot of people out there. So yeah, you might be getting away with murder with some folks, but with others you aren't. So be weary of that, all right? And get a grip, but also avoid self-defeat, okay? You can find ways of coping with the worst of things with your own mental power. So take care of your psychic abilities there, your psychological health and welfare, all right? And it says as far as diet is concerned, a broad choice of foods and such. A lot of times they drill down on specific foods people should focus on. How they deign that in the stars, I have no idea. But it says that you just need a well-balanced, broad-spectrum diet. So you can enjoy that. You can put anything out for your party. At least it's going to go on your plate. All right. Hey, let's dive in with some advice. As if you haven't gotten enough of that already here. Without losing your romantic sparkle, keep a firm grip on reality. You can't get away with breaking the rules forever. Sooner or later, the reckoning will come. And get to know yourself better and like yourself more. All right, real quick, in and out with the advice. It's been that way for a while now. Retain that sparkle, all right? And keep your magic. I already said most of this, surprisingly. So I think they did too. So yes, get to know yourself better and break down that ego if it is getting in the way. And a lot of times you might not even know it. You might just have to step back from yourself and really consider your actions and how they were benefiting you. I don't know. That's a whole process. But be mindful of maybe trying to take a step down that particular alley. See what you can see, all right? And figure out if that's why some of the things in your life are happening. It's always good to be mindful of the self and take care of it. And that says here, get to know yourself better and like yourself more. That's huge. You got to love yourself, right? And not in this superficial kind of way. For who you are. That's right. Okay, let's dive in with your meditation. All right, let's take the energy down just a hair. Are you ready? All right, your meditation. To the sleeper, the waking life is a dream. And once again, to the sleeper, the waking life is a dream. All right, there's your meditation. That's just for you. I'm not here to break it down for you. It's your birthday, your meditation. All right, let's dive in with your strengths and your weaknesses. You ready? Your strengths, you're imaginative, you're romantic, and you're fun. Ooh, that's huge, being fun. But now we get in to your weaknesses. Ooh, are you ready? Hold your breath, your weaknesses. Self-destructive. Ooh, but that can be fun, right? And you're also unaware and excessive. Ooh, excessive. Well, hey, if you're into the Regal stuff, excess is a part of it, all right? But just know it can be seen as a weakness. All right, let's dive in with those born on this day and see whose company you share. That's right. But I also like to take a moment to examine a little bit more of a pressing issue, and that's when I get out into the world and I meet folks, I ask them what they do, and more importantly, if they like it. And a lot of times they don't. They haven't had the time to put in the work to figure out their passion. And I would say it's a common thread through a lot of people's lives because they just got to get into a job, security, right out of college into a career so that they can pay off them loans and all that stuff. So they haven't had time to do the work. And that's, like I said, it's a common theme. And so I figured this is the perfect opportunity, rather, to figure out what other people who were not only born on this day, but are famous for what they did and what they contributed, and let's see what put them on the map, and let's see what their ostensible passion was. Might not have been their passion, but it certainly got them noticed, right? So let's see what they do, or what they did, rather. I'm all over the place. And if you find yourself in the same position where you can't figure out what your passion is, well, maybe you can take some inspiration from someone who shares your birthday. So let's get into it. Those born on this day. We have Louis XIV, the French Sun King, and he was the longest reigning European monarch. 73 years. How about that? An extravagant court at Versailles, bloody suppression of the Huguenots. I'm not quite sure what all that is, but maybe look up yourself. Draw some inspiration. We have Farida, the Egyptian queen. S. Radharishnan, an Indian president. We have John Cage, the composer, writer, photographer. Werner Herzog, the German visionary film director of The Wrath of God and Fitz Carlotto. And he dragged a steamboat over the jungle mountain at a cost of lives, it says. We also have Suzuma Tanagawa, a Japanese Nobel Prize-winning molecular biologist of the immune system. We also have Victorien Sardou, was a French playwright, and he wrote Fedora Tosca. We have F. Daryl Zanuck, a film producer. Raquel Welch, the film actress. Freddie Mercury, the lead singer and songwriter of Queen. We have Bob Newhart, the comedian and TV actor. William Devane, the film actor. Joan Kennedy, the wife of Ted Kennedy. Kathy Goose-White, perhaps, a cartoonist of Kathy. We have Arthur Koestler, was a Hungarian-born writer of Darkness at Noon. And I know I'm probably getting all these names wrong. We'll rectify that. We have John Dalton, the British chemist, philosopher, and unit of molecular mass namesake. We also have Werner perhaps, Earnhardt, an EST founder, or I think they pronounce it est, and a teacher and a writer. We have Morris Karnowski, an actor and a theater director. John M. Mitchell, the Nixon Attorney General and convicted Watergate felon. We also have Christopher Nolan, a handicapped Irish writer of Under the Eye of the Clock, and he overcame disabilities. All right, and that has been those born on this day. Well, I didn't recognize a lot of names, and I butchered quite a few of them, so let's butcher some stuff. We didn't mean it in malice, just hooked on phonics doesn't work for me as far as French and German and Finnish and Slovak and any of those foreign names by the most part there. It's Indian, Japanese. But there are people of all walks of life that find their place and they make their mark. So hopefully you drew some inspiration, become you a politician or perhaps royalty somehow, you know what I mean? How you're going to do that. Or an actress or a film producer, that kind of thing. But in any event, that has for the most part been your birthday, except to say your season is summer, your sign once again is Virgo, of the Virgo II period specifically, and your quality and elements is mutable earth. That's right. And this has been September 5th, the day of the Fanciful Sovereign, from The Secret Language of Birthdays by Gary Goldschneider and Joost Elfers. I have an affiliate link for this book down in the description if you're interested in picking up your own copy and diving in further with all the other elements and all the other birthdays. Makes a great coffee table book. It's bound to break the ice. Get the conversation started for better or for worse. And if you're throwing fancy parties, sometimes you need something interesting to break that ice. Get those introverts out of their shell and get those people who are extroverts maybe knocked down a peg, right? Go pick you up a copy. That's right. You're gonna love it, I reckon. But anyway, that's not what's important here. What's important here is it's your birthday. So I want to once again say happy birthday, all right? I hope this finds you in good spirits, celebrating it in the most fanciful way, if you like, all right? And for everyone else who joined us to celebrate, hope you enjoyed yourself. Hope you found it informative and interesting, and you join us for your birthday read. And finally, don't forget your daily numbers. That's right. Get out there and let the universe show you it's with you on your path. 4 and a 1 for a 5. All right. You take care of yourselves, all right? Happy birthday.